Hey everybody, so long time no see. Hope you all had a great 4th of July holiday weekend, and we went to see the Lone Ranger the other day and just did, you know, a little bit of shopping here and there, and had a good time over the long weekend. So let me get right into it. Today is a haul, as it says in the title. And let me start off by showing you the Real Techniques On Location Travel Essentials Kit. And it consists of 3 brushes. The multitask brush, which to me is like a powder brush, but I've tried it out and I have to admit I think I like my e.l.f. Studio powder brush better for applying powder, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. It's just the e.l.f. one has a flat top on it, and for some reason I really gravitate towards flat topped brushes. I just feel like they apply everything better. The next one is the Essential Foundation brush, and I thought this might be good as a highlight brush because it's a little bit larger than the Real Techniques setting brush that I bought for highlighter. So we shall see about that. I haven't been wearing highlighter on my face the last few days, but you know, I'll check that out when I can. And then it also included the domed shadow brush, and as you can see, I did use this to apply this crazy turquoise eyeshadow that I have on today, and it applied it really well. It seemed to be good for that. I normally would use a MAC shader brush, but I just wanted to try something different. I think this could be good for applying your lid color or your crease color. It looks like it'd be a really good multitasker. So I got those, and then you may recall that I was talking about trying to find a less expensive version of my Benefit Ooh La Lift, which is the very first thing that I put on. I use that on my dark circles, and then I put concealer over it. It's a wonderful product by Benefit, but it's very expensive, and I wanted to see if I could find something cheaper. So I bought the Revlon color corrector, and it was number 002. It's a pink liquid that looks just like Benefit Ooh La Lift, but in a big container. And I tried that out, and that went right back to the store. I tried using it. It's supposed to be a face primer, so I used it as a face primer, and I used it in place of the Benefit Ooh La Lift, and it didn't work for me for either one. I didn't like the way it felt on my skin. I didn't feel like it was color correcting anything, and it was like $11, so I didn't want to keep it if it wasn't going to do what it was supposed to do. So I did want to let you know about that. That was a fail for me. But another thing that I bought at that time was I bought the Physicians Formula Mineral Wear Correcting Concealer Kit. And this consists of 3 snap-in vials of different colored fluids for different tasks. And here's what it looks like. So you get a yellow fluid, which with my skin tone doesn't really do anything for me, so that one is pretty much useless, but that's okay. Number 2 is supposed to be like the flesh colored one, which you use as a concealer, and this has a definite orange tint to it, and so that doesn't work for me. However, the 3rd one is a pink fluid, and this is supposed to be a highlight, but this is what I was going for to replace the Benefit Ooh La Lift, because this kit is $11, so even if all I used was this, it's still, I think, less than half the price of the Benefit one. And it comes with a doe foot applicator, just like the Benefit one does, and it pretty much does the job. I don't have it on today because I'm testing out another thing that I have that I already had in my collection that I just wanted to see how that would work as a replacement also, which I'm still kind of, you know, testing it out, so I'll let you know about that in a future video. But this Physicians Formula thing, yeah, that is an adequate substitute as well. And this was hard to find though. I ended up going to a lot of stores trying to find it, and I did eventually find it at Christmas Tree Shop, but I know that, you know, a lot of you don't have that store where you live, that it's only on the eastern seaboard. But anyways, yeah, this works as a substitute. Now today I'm trying something else out, which if this works, this will be another substitute, and then if that works, there's something else that I know that is a similar product. But you know what, let's get into that in another video. All right, keep going. So talking about Christmas Tree Shop, Christmas Tree Shop has this little bargain section where they have things that are drastically reduced in price, that are like discontinued items. And I saw this palette. It's Revlon Customize palette in Gold Spun. And I did try to peel that Christmas Tree Shop sticker off that says $1.99, but when I started to peel it off, I could see that all the backing was going to stick to the front of it, so I pushed it back down again because I didn't want to have to deal with scraping off all that residue and whatnot. But here, let me open it up and show you the colors in here, because I mean, this was $1.99. I more or less bought it for this color in the middle here. I just really liked the looks of that color, and it kind of reminded me of MAC Malt, except it's not as pink. But this is a really nice neutral palette. I used it the other day. I put this color on the lid, and then I used the white as a highlight, and I used the brown in the crease. It has a little bit of shimmer to it, but not a ton. It's just like a very small amount. And as long as you use a good primer underneath, the sparkles and glitter aren't going to do the whole fallout thing. I haven't used the gold or the black yet. The gold is not a shade of gold that would work for me with my skin tone, so that probably will get ignored in the palette. But the black, I swatched it and seems to be nice. The quality of these shadows are really good. Revlon doesn't make this line anymore in the United States, I don't think. I don't think they do. But I have seen it on websites and so forth, so I think it might be like being in the process of being phased out. But they're really nice, soft shadows that are easy to work with. And I figured for $1.99 that this was well worth it, and I did end up liking it. So if you have Christmas Tree Shop and you don't normally look at that bargain section, it's usually like an island off to the side of the beauty area, and they have some interesting things in there. It's usually kind of messy, but it's definitely worth it to look through it because you can find some treasures in there. And then I bought at another store, which, you know, it doesn't matter where I buy things, but I always mention it anyway. I don't know why. But at CVS, I bought a Neutrogena Crease Proof eyeshadow in the color Lasting Taupe. And this is what this looks like. This is one of those eyeshadow sticks that twist up, and it's a cream to powder formula. It's very sheer, but I like these kind of things as a colored base. I wouldn't use this on its own because it doesn't really show up that well, but powder eyeshadows go over this very nicely. And I'm a sucker for anything taupe. And I didn't really have a cream taupe, I don't think, in this shade. Let me show you what I mean about the pigmentation. Okay, this is what it looks like swatched on my hand. But of course, when you put that on your eye area, wait a minute, I just want to get this cover back on without smushing it. Yeah, so that's what it looks like swatched, but when you blend it in, which is what you would be doing, you know, with a brush or a finger on your eye, that's what it looks like. And it dries to a powder finish pretty fast, so you gotta, you know, blend it out quickly. I have it on today, but it's underneath something, so you wouldn't really be able to see it, but I more or less bought that as to have as a colored base, and I like it for that purpose, but I wouldn't wear it on its own. The next thing I'm going to show you is something that I did a review on a while back, and I had bought 2 of them at that time, didn't like it at all, returned them to the store, and I was reading something in a magazine about this particular one that I'm going to show you, and decided to give it another try even though I bought it before. I don't know, I just had a feeling that if I bought this color I would like it better, and I do, and I did, and I do. And that is the L'Oreal, what do they call these? Color Caress Shine Stain things. This is in the color Eternally Nude, and I like it. And I'm thinking that the only reason why I do like it is because of the color. Let me swatch it for you. This is sort of a warm pinky brown nude. Let me blend that out a little bit so you can get a truer feel of how it would look. And I think, like I said, I think it's because of the color that this works for me. The ones that I bought before, they didn't apply well. They didn't look good. It does have that alcohol odd smell to it, but that goes away once you've had it on your lips for a while. But I like the way this one looks on my lips, but it's very natural. It's one of those my lips but better. It kind of makes my lips more pinky brown color. But yeah, I really think this is the only shade that I would like, because when you try to do the unnatural looking colors, something about the formula makes it not apply well. But the nude one, I would say, is a keeper. Then you may have noticed I haven't been buying any high-end department store type makeup lately. I did buy one thing over the weekend. We had gone to one of those outlet malls, and I went to the CCO, and I did buy one thing. You guys know I love Bobbi Brown eyeshadows. I have 3 of them now. I have gray, slate, and blonde, and all the ones that I buy so far are the matte ones, because I am in love with that formula of Bobbi Brown's matte eyeshadows. So I went into the CCO, and of course they have Bobbi Brown in there, and I couldn't believe it when I was looking at the eyeshadows, because they had Bone. Now Bone has got to be her best seller. You may recall that I had bought the cream eyeshadow, the long wear cream eyeshadow in Bone a while back, and I really like that as an eyeshadow base to start off with certain colored eyeshadows. So now I have the powder eyeshadow, and like I said, I was really surprised to see that there, because this is probably her best seller. Bobbi Brown eyeshadows are normally $22 at department stores, and at the CCO I got this for $15. So I was thrilled to see that, because I almost bought this so many times at other stores. So that's what that looks like. And you know, when you blend it in, it kind of disappears. It's one of those type colors, so you won't see that on my hand once it's blended in. But I wore this yesterday with something else I'm going to show you in the crease, and it looked awesome. And I put the Bone cream shadow on as a base, and I love it. I was so thrilled that they had that. Okay, next up is our Maybelline single eyeshadows. Up until now, I only had one, and that is Silken Taupe, which I showed you guys in a dupe video. This is a dupe for Clarins Taupe eyeshadow. I had done a whole video about that, and this is what I have on in the crease over that Neutrogena crease proof shadow that I just showed you. But up until now, that is the only Maybelline eyeshadow single that I had, and this is a pearl, pearl finish. But what I didn't realize is that the Maybelline singles come in 3 finishes: pearl, metallic, and matte. And I was like, matte? I didn't even know that they made single matte shadows. So I happened to be at Walmart one day, and I saw a color that looked interesting. I took it off the shelf, started looking at the package, and saw on the back that it said matte, and I was like, what? Because I love matte shadows. And so I bought it. It's in the color Nutmeg, and I had this on in the crease with the Bobbi Brown Bone, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. And you guys aren't gonna believe. These are $2 and change at Walmart, okay? Watch this. Bam. Look at that. Look at the pigmentation there. Look at it swatched on my hand. And that looked awesome in the crease with Bone on the lid yesterday. And I was like, oh my God, $2 and change. And this is amazing. The texture, the blendability, the colors. So I went back and looked through the rack and took every single one out and looked at the back, because that's the only way you can see which ones are matte. I mean, you could kind of go by the fronts, but not really. And little tiny print on the back of the label, it will say what the finish is. And so I went through the rack, and some of the slots were empty, but I pulled out the ones that said matte, and I bought 4 more. And what I got was Turquoise Glass, which is what I'm wearing on my lids today. But look at that. How amazing is that for $2 and change, you know? Fantastic. So that's what I'm wearing on my lids, is the Turquoise Glass. And then I also got Made from Mocha. Beautiful milk chocolate brown. Fantastic formula. And the next one is Earthly Taupe. And this one is a little harder to see because of the color, but the pigmentation and the texture is there. I'll swatch it on my hand, but yeah, you can't see that against my skin tone. It just goes invisible, but nice color there. However, this is one thing that drives me crazy about makeup, not just Maybelline, but lots of companies are this way, is that every once in a while you'll get a dud. The dud is linen, so don't get this one. This one is chalky, not pigmented, doesn't go on nice, the texture is off. It isn't smooth, creamy, and pigmented like those others, so take a pass on linen. But I don't even care, because this is the exact same color as that Bobbi Brown Bone. I'll show you. So I don't really need linen. And I can't get the Bobbi Brown one open. Here we go. Yeah, see, they're exactly the same color, so I don't really need the linen. And I'll probably, next time I go to Walmart, I'm gonna bring that one back. But yeah, it's so weird, because the other four that I got are fantastic, but the linen is a dud. So just because one is good doesn't necessarily mean that they're all going to be good. But I did want to let you know about that, because those other 4 are fantastic. Now, as far as the pearl finish ones by Maybelline, the singles, the one that I have, Silken Taupe, it works okay under a colored base, but you definitely wouldn't be able to use it on its own. And I have not tried the metallic ones, but yeah, so that's it for my haul, I guess, and I'll see you next time. Bye.